This is a story that may sound like insurance fraud, only in this case, the victim and his attorney say it's the insurance company committing the fraud. State Farm is refusing to take on liability for this customer, Anthony Duran, even though Denver police say he was drunk and clearly at fault. It was New Year's Eve when surveillance video shows a Cadillac Escalade speeding through an intersection with no headlights and then T-boning the driver of an Audi, turning into a 7-Eleven.
My dog was in the car. It was just, damn.
Drew Olhausen and his dog survived. His Audi S5 convertible did not. Before police arrived, Drew took a photo of Anthony Duran flipping him off. Then he said Duran chased him around the parking lot.
He's like, I'm going to kick your ass. And I was on the phone with 911, and they were telling me just to stay away from him.
When police showed up and gave Duran a sobriety test, the report states Duran's breath had a strong odor of an unknown alcoholic beverage. Balance was swaying, eyes were bloodshot, and admitted to consuming alcohol prior to driving.
It's all a shock to me. I'm still in shock. I mean, I feel like it just happened yesterday.
It's actually been 5 months, but his car still looks like it was hit yesterday. It's been towed to the corner of Federal and Jewel, just down the street from a State Farm office. Drew painted the words speeding, drunk driving, careless driving, and no lights on to remind the auto insurance giant what it's been unwilling to fix.
Usually when it's straightforward liability, meaning the person is at fault, was cited by the police, was arrested at the scene, you cut to the chase, you pay the person that's a victim, and move on.
Jake Galperin is Drew's attorney, and he's angry with State Farm Insurance, which provides Anthony Duran's coverage.
Even after they got the footage, even after they got the police report that showed that he was at fault by the police, that he had DUI, and then the footage, which I personally went through with the adjuster and pointed out where his lights were off, they still denied liability.
Colorado allows insurance companies to deny legal liability if both drivers are at fault, 50-50. In a letter to Drew's attorney, State Farm says, "We are assessing 50% negligence against our insured driver for driving without lights on and improper lookout, and 50% negligence against your client for failure to maintain proper lookouts and to yield the right-of-way while turning left on a double yellow."
And he wouldn't have been able to yield because the guy had no lights, he was speeding, and driving erratically.
The estimate to repair Drew's car is $21,771, and in the meantime, he says he's still having to make $640 monthly payments for a car he can't drive. But he won't find sympathy from Anthony Duran. We caught up with him at court, where his DUI case keeps getting delayed, to ask if he thinks State Farm should cover Drew's damages.
Do I think?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
State Farm, do they have any obligation? Would you want them to cover you if someone had T-boned you?
Again, you can speak to my lawyer.
It blows my mind. I'd never, ever thought that I'd be in this position.
In a statement of the problem solver, State Farm says, "We are committed to fulfill our obligation to our customers and pay what we owe. When a third party makes a claim against our customer, we perform a diligent investigation and review all underlying facts to make a liability determination," adding, "Due to our company privacy policy, we can't speak to the specifics of any individual customer claim." State Farm is the largest auto insurance provider in Colorado with 18% of the market. Jake, being straight with me, do you suspect for State Farm this comes down to dollars and cents?
Of course it does. It comes down to every insurance company to dollars and cents.
First, it was Anthony Duran who flipped off Drew. Now his attorney says it's State Farm giving his client the bird.
That's 100% what they did.
Anthony Duran has been charged with DUI and careless driving. He was offered a plea deal, but prosecutors say he rejected it. He'll be back in court in July. Drew Olhausen and his attorney say unless State Farm changes its position, they will be forced to sue the auto insurance giant to get any justice. Rob Lowe, Fox 31.